run through our new app called the MTrack Scan Helper. The MTrack Scan Helper is a very simple production recording tool. To access it, go to your apps on your phone and open up the MTrack Scan Helper app. Sign in. And what we're going to do is just to clear down the data so there's nothing on this device. Okay, we're going to cover a few little things quickly. So the first being the settings. So like all the MTrack devices, we have a settings option. So first of all, we've got a button. If you're going to be using NFC or contactless tags to record production, you can allocate NFC tags to individual workers. So you click on the button, select the worker, and then allocate the tag. So we'll just run through that quickly. So I'll grab a tag, I'll select a worker, place the tag on the NFC reader on the device, and then allocate that. Now bear in mind that the device needs to be connected to the internet for this to work, because the tag allocation is done on the server side or the cloud. Okay, so back to the settings. Ignore the camera layout. The device will always use the rear camera, or if it doesn't have a rear camera, it will use the front camera. Worker barcode length. So this is the length that identifies the worker. So in this test system, the worker barcode is always going to be 3 characters long. The second setting is the tray barcode length, which is going to be 4 in this case. So our combined barcode will be a 7-character barcode. So it could be something like 003 and then 1234, which would identify the item of work that's being produced. Tray scan delay is a old feature which is just set to 0 because the system will not record duplicate trays. The next important thing is the site where the device will be used. So in a multi-site operation, you'd select the site, and in our case just farm 2. We've got an auto sync setting, so this means that the device will attempt to connect to the network and connect to the cloud and upload any recorded data, and that interval will be set here in minutes. So in this case we're going to turn that off. We have an option to allow the users to set piece rates, so the rate at which you're paying for production can be set on the device as well. So once we're done here, we click save, and then we can go off to our scanning screen. Okay, so in its simplest form, what you'd do is you'd click on simple scan, and the screen would load up. All you have to do here is select where the production is taking place. So you'd select the block, and then you'd select what type of item is being scanned or what you're producing. And then at this point, what you can do is you can use your NFC tags to record. So I'll tap one here, and it's scanned a tray against that person. Alternatively, you would use the scan button, which would then trigger the camera, and it would scan a batch of barcodes. So you can scan more than one barcode in a batch. Alternatively, if a barcode is damaged or unreadable, what you could do is you could just type a manual code in, which could either be a worker's number, so I can type in a 009, which the system will recognize as being a worker. could type in a full barcode. As we mentioned before, our full barcode format would be something like 008, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So you'd carry on doing this all day. A couple of other options here is if you were scanning for a previous day, because the system will always record the system time against this, but what you can do is you can actually change, you can set a date in here, and you could say scan work for a previous date, or at some point in the past, or in the future if you need to. Normally you'd set that off because your production will be taking place real time. So on the screen what you have here is I've got a handy little batch counter, so you can keep a count on what you're currently scanning. You can reset that. You also have an options dialog, so this will bring up things like worker totals, so you can look at how much each work has produced so far in this operation, so in this block. We also have location totals, so how many trays have been, or how much production has taken place in this area. So we have our weight, the quantity in there. One of the other reports would be I think there's a production, so we're going to product totals, and it will tell us how much of each product that we produced. Some of the other options in here are we can delete items, so if we've misscanned something, what we can do is we can go and delete an item if we need to, and then I select the items I want to delete and then delete them. When it comes to piece rates, what we can do is we can configure piece rates in the device or change them. So in this case we have a site here, block 13, and we've got it all set to 0, so we could go and change those piece rates to something more meaningful. And then each item scanned will have that rate applied to them. If an item doesn't exist, what you do then is you would just add another item. So if I just continue here, and then I could add, say we wanted a pay per row or per plant, I could choose something in there and apply a rate to that, and then that should be in my list. 13, and I have my item there which I can then record against. So coming back out, on the home screen we have a very simple report, so we can look at things like performance and work production if we want to do that. Performance is actually when we're recording time, so the scanner can actually create some time records based on scanning. So to do that, I'd go to new task, I'll tell the system what we're actually doing, so picking, let's just choose a new block here, so 12. I can apply an hourly rate. However, most piecework would probably be paid piecework, piece rate. I can also, set the start time. And save that. Now to record production against this, I can simply click the open button. It'll take me to that area, and then I can scan something here. So if I did a manual code for this case, so I'll do couple more in here. So I've got some items in here. If I were to go back and look at my performance, work production, I believe you might need to stop this task first and then look at performance after the fact. And now I can see how work is actually performing. So in this case I've got a staff member here who is producing work 3.02 hours. They produced one item, so they're producing 0.33 items an hour. And well, the average for an average down below here. Below the records you'll see a total man hours, total trays produced, quantity per hour. So that can just give you an indication of how staff members are actually performing. Again, you have a report which you can breaks the production down by location and by product type. And that's as simple as it is. If the auto sync function is not enabled, what you would need to do at the end of each day is you'd need to go in and synchronize the data. Once the data has been received by the server and processed, you'd want to clear it, and then the device will be ready for the next scanning operation. I hope this has helped. If you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you. Bye.